Hey sis, today I'm going to show you guys how to customize your makeup look. So I'm going to show you guys how to do your brows, how to do a wing liner, and how to apply your lashes. So if you're interested, just continue to watch. So like I said in the intro, we're doing our brows, we're doing eyeliner, and we're doing our lashes. So these are pretty much considered all of the extra steps to makeup after you've completed your base. So let's start off with the brows. So for me, my eyebrow routine is mainly brow gel. I have personally a lot of brow hair to work with. I am going to be using my e.l.f. brow lift. So you guys have seen this in a few of my videos. And what I like to do is first, we're gonna take a spoolie. So a spoolie looks something like this, and mine is a little bit dusty, but don't mind that. So some of them are only the spoolie by itself, but some of them do have the dual-sided end, which does come with the angled brush. So this angled brush is good for using like gels or powders. So with this side, we're gonna use it to brush out the brows. I feel like for anybody, this is important because you wanna start with a clean base. Like you want your brows to be tamed and brushed out. So this is for anybody. And this is just going to make it easier for you to really work on your brows. All right, so I brushed out the brows. Now I have a few different ways I do my brows. I could go in with brow powder right now. And if you guys are looking at my brows, I do have some sparse in the front right here on the end. And with that sparseness, that's where I go in with either a pencil, brow powder, whatever the case may be. But like I said, I do use brow gel. So I'm going to dip into my e.l.f. brow gel, and I do take my spoolie and then I put a bit of that on the spoolie, and what I like to do is disperse it all over the brows and brush my brow hairs up. So what you want to do is just brush all of your brow hairs up and really stick it in place. But once you have it all brushed through, then you want to take the spoolie and shape it to your liking. So that's what I usually do. I just kind of shape it in a way that I personally like, just like that. So at this point, I leave it, move on to the next one so that it dries down. So by the time I get back to this one, I could start adding my powder or my eyebrow pencil. All right, so at this point, my brows are pretty much dried down. So now I could work on filling it in and really customizing it to my liking. Now, when it comes to brows, you can either use a brow powder or any powder, to be honest. You could use eyeshadow powder. This is an eyeshadow palette that I got from AliExpress. It is no name, there's nothing on it, but I really love this shade in it. This is what I would use for my brows, and it's honestly just a really dark eyeshadow. Or on days where I want to switch it up, I would use a brow pencil. So this one is the Ebin New York Secret of Pharoah Precision Brow Pencil in the shade dark brown, and I would either use this. So actually I'm gonna use both and show you guys. So on this side, I'll use my powder. So you want to go back in with your brush and take the angled side, and I'm just going to dip into that powder, and anywhere that I see like any sparse areas where I could see like my skin peeping through, I literally just go over that with the powder. And I really like natural looking brows. Years ago I used to be a part of the brow trends and just really doing all that extra stuff, but nowadays I just like a really natural brow, so I don't have to do much for my brows. So after I've applied the powder, I like to disperse it in my brows so that it's even and everything's dispersed evenly. And that's it. That's all I do for my brows when it comes to powder. On this side, I'm going to use my brow pencil, and same thing. All we're doing is going over the areas that are sparse. So I'm just going to use my pencil and just go over. And with my pencil, I like to use little strokes to mimic like brow strokes, I guess, brow hairs. And a good trick is to take, when you have your pencil in your hand, you want to rest your pinky on somewhere on your face. This gives you the control to be able to fill in your brows. If you're going freely, you don't have that much precision, so use your pinky as like a rest on your face, and this will allow you to really have that control. And then again, I'm going to take the spoolie end and just make sure everything is dispersed properly, just like that. So we have pretty much the same result. So at this point, you've filled in your brows. Now we can move on to concealing them. All right, so when it comes to concealing your brows, you can either go in with a flesh tone concealer. So I do have my L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. This is like my perfect match. Or you can go in with a concealer that is 2-3 shades lighter. This is normally the concealer you would use to do your highlight and contour. So I did go in with my Rimmel Multitasker Concealer today. today. So I'm going to use this concealer and just shape up my brows. So what I go in with to shape my brows is the e.l.f. concealer brush. And this is normally a flat brush. You want to make sure that it's flat because this is what's going to help you shape your brow. So you would want something like this where it is flat. So I like to start off in the front here and just do little strokes, and you don't need to put too much concealer on the brush either. And using concealer is also good if you have those little stubble of hairs that are growing in. This just helps to honestly control and kind of cover that as well. So, and then to blend out, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. This is what I use to blend out my concealer. So this is what I use to blend out my under eye. So I'm gonna use it to blend out my concealer as well. So this is what it looks like. It's usually just a fluffy concealer brush. It's dense so that you're able to blend out your concealer. So with this, I like to just blend that product down onto my eyelids, because usually I would be concealing the eyelids as well. You just want to take dabbing motions to blend it out. So you could see the difference between both eyes. This one just looks a lot more cleaner. That is essentially the goal when we use concealer to clean up our brows. Now I know back in the day we used to apply that concealer on the top. I'm telling you from now, you do not need to do that anymore. That is a thing of the past. We don't want floating brows anymore. We want something really natural. So I would say just conceal the bottom portion of your eyebrows. So just to make sure everything looks really natural and realistic, I like to take that concealer, whatever is left on the brush, and just brush it in the front of my brows. This just gives a really natural look rather than looking like boxy. All right, so that is about it for brows. So I have a really natural looking brow. So with the concealer that I use to clean up, I'm just gonna apply some to my eyelids. And then once all of this has concealer, you can go in with your powder to set it. You always wanna set any cream products. I say this in all my videos. This is just going to ensure that it stays put throughout the day. So I'm gonna take my CoverGirl Clean Invisible powder. This is a loose setting powder, and my Wander Beauty Velour Puff. Dip into that, and we're just going to set the eyelids. And you want to set right under the brows as well. All right, so just like that, we are ready to either go in with eyeshadow. Today, I'm not going to show you guys eyeshadow just because I do want to show you guys the eyeliner. So let's get into that. All right, so eyeliner of choice today is my Ruby Kisses Tattoo Felt Lip Eyeliner. I feel like these are really easy to use just because of the point and how precise it is. This is what's going to give you a lot of control and really give you a nice eyeliner look. So when it comes to eyeliner, I would always say shake, because that is what's going to give you all the product towards the tip. I feel like nobody ever tells you that. So always shake the product. And then you want to go in, again, use your pinky as your guide. This is what's going to help you have that control. So wherever your pinky falls on your face when you're doing your eyeliner, that is what's going to give you the control. So what you want to do is create a line going up towards like your brow, the end of your brow. And I would say use strokes, like little strokes, to create that line rather than just create the line with one stroke, if that makes any sense. So what you're doing is creating little strokes like that. So once you have your line, you want to find the middle, not the middle, but a little bit above the middle. You don't want to go towards the end. You want to go like right above the middle of that line and then connect it to like the end here. So I have my pinky resting on my face, and you just want to create that line. With this, I would say you just go straight in. Don't do little strokes. Just like that. So you could see I created my wing. Now you can fill in the rest just like that. Now at this point you can customize it and really sharpen the line. So I'm just gonna do that. All right, so once you have your wing on, you can now create the rest of the wing. So I like to work from the inner corner and connect it rather than here to my inner corner. I just find that that's a little bit easier to do. So we're gonna do little strokes again. All right, so this is my liner. I'm gonna do the other eyeliner over on this side. So I'm gonna let you guys watch what I do for this side. Okay, so that is about it for my liner. So this is considered how you would put on eyeliner. So now that we have our liner on, we can move on to lashes, which I know is a big thing a lot of you guys have been asking for. So let's get into that. All right, so for today's video, I'm using my Ardell Wispies. You also need brow glue. So I am going to be using the Duo. This is the Rose Water and Biotin Strip Lash. This is in the dark version. And this one does have the applicator so that it's easier to use. There's the other one that is the squeeze tube, so you do have the option. I do find like if you are a beginner, this is a little bit easier to use, whereas the squeeze tube, you may squeeze too much glue out and it's just overwhelming. So this really makes it a lot easier. So you want to grab your lash, and how you know which lash goes on which is usually the front of the lash goes in the inner corner and it's usually shorter. So the shorter end of the lash is what goes in the corner, and the more long and kind of wispied part of the lash is what goes on the outer edge. So that is easy way to know which lash goes on which. So when it comes to lashes, you want to make sure that it fits your eyes. So before you put any glue on it, take your lash and just make sure that it fits your eyes. Most lashes are too long, so I always recommend cutting the lash. You always want to cut on the outer end where it's more flared out rather than the inside. If you cut on the inside, you messed up the whole lash. It's not going to look good. So never cut the inside, cut the outside. You also are going to need some kind of mirror. The mirror is what's going to allow you to place that lash on seamlessly. I feel like if you're just looking straight at a mirror and applying your lash, it's a bit harder to do. Taking a compact mirror and just placing it under your chin will allow you to see your entire lash line. So it's going to be a lot easier to apply the lash. All right, so let's get into applying these. So I'm going to take one of my lashes. This one is going to go on my right side. And what you want to do is just apply a thin layer of the glue. So this is my lash here. And what you want to do is just apply a really thin layer. And like I said, this Duo glue makes it a lot easier to use. And with Duo glue, you want to wait at least 1 to 2 minutes for it to dry down. You want your glue to be tacky. If you go right on with this, it's not going to stick, it's not going to stay, it's going to mess up your whole eye look. Always wait about a minute or two for it to get tacky. All right, so now that it's tacky, you want to take your mirror, you want to place it right underneath your chin. So once it's underneath the chin, just like this, you're able to see your entire lash line. So once you could see your lash line, you're gonna apply the lash in the middle of your eye, just like that. So just apply it in the middle, then you could work on the edges. I always work on the outer portion first before I put the inner corner. So you want to apply the outer corner, and then you could apply your inner corner. And then you could also just play around with it, make sure that it's on securely. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other lash. So we're going to apply a thin layer of glue. Then we're going to wait 1 to 2 minutes. All right, so now that it's tacky, you're going to take your mirror, place it underneath your chin. You're going to see your whole lash line, apply it in the middle first, just like that. Then we're going to do the ends, like that, and then the inner corner. And then you just want to make sure that it's secure. Now bear in mind, guys, I apply lashes to my eyes every single day, so it's like nothing to me to do this. So keep in mind, this takes practice. In the beginning, I struggled. Trust me, I struggled. So with practice and doing the tips that I said today, I promise you it will be like nothing to you if you just keep doing the steps: middle, end, inner corner. Make sure you're using a compact mirror. Keep it underneath your chin. You'll see everything you need to see to apply the lash. Don't be looking straight at a mirror to apply your lash. It's a lot harder to do it that way. Always use a compact mirror. Place it underneath your chin and then apply your lash. So let me just finish up the rest of my eyes. I'm going to add a bit of mascara and then I'll be back to close off the video. All right, sis, so this is the finishing look. I showed you guys how to do your brows, how to do a winged liner, and how to apply lashes. So we just customized this look. We completed our makeup look. I hope this video was helpful for any of you who wanted to know how to do your brows, how to do lashes, how to do a wing liner. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Also, I do want to must say, if you do have naturally curly lashes, you guys are probably asking why I didn't put mascara on before I put my lashes on. And honestly and truly, I feel like putting on your mascara first before your lashes makes it a lot difficult, because you are now lifting your lashes to be in the way of seeing your lash line. It's just, I find it's counterproductive. So that's why I like to put on my lashes before I put on my mascara. Listen, there's no rules to makeup. Whatever works for you, works for you. But yeah, that is about it, guys. I did do a video on a no foundation makeup routine. So if you're someone who does not like to wear foundation, check out this video right here. I go really in depth on how to use certain products to create a full looking face without using any foundation. So that is about it, guys. Subscribe if you haven't, sis, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.